Everybody, thanks for coming back to I'm Not a Critic, and I'm here to do my new review. And yes. The new review will be Zack Snyder's Justice League. The cut that people have been asking for 3 years. So before I get too much into it, let's go ahead and play the trailer.
So begins the end for Darkseid.
I've never seen a being this strong. Maybe one. He's back.
I spent a lot of time trying to divide us. I made a promise to him on his grave. I need to bring us together. There are enemies coming from far away.
They serve an old power.
This world is divided. No protectors here. No lanterns. No Kryptonium. It will fall in his name. I have turned worlds to dust. All of existence shall be mine.
I have a second chance. I am not gonna waste it.
He said the age of heroes would never come again.
Fighting the devil and his army. You know, I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us united.
It's time to stand, fight. The time is now.
So a lot of people are going to have to go down to the supermarket, grab their hot sauce, grab anything they love to eat with, and eat this crow. Now, people have been saying, oh my God, I hated Justice League. It was the most horrible piece of crap that I've ever seen. Why Zack Snyder ruined DC comic movies? Blah, 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 blah. You know, to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, I did join that bandwagon for a brief moment. So I actually looked at the original theatrical cut maybe a couple of days ago. I actually watched BVS, then after that I seen the original theatrical cut of the Justice League. And it wasn't that bad. I didn't hate it. Kind of just went in knowing what kind of movie both of them were, and I'm like, this was pretty entertaining. BVS, you know, I see where Zack Snyder's vision was on what he wanted the DC universe to be. One thing I think he made a mistake was trying to be like Marvel and try to make a universe so quickly. He didn't take his time on that. He definitely should have, because Marvel took 10 years in the making. He tried to shove all these movies in within 3 year span. But the original theatrical cut of Justice League, you know, it will have some corny moments. We all know why, you know, Zack Snyder had to leave, because the unfortunate demise of his daughter, Autumn, so he had to leave. And then Joss Whedon, who also directed the original Avengers movie, also he directed Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. He kind of messed things up with that. So it was all cut up, you know. There was a lot of different parts where it wasn't the best, you know, visually it wasn't the best. You could definitely tell that two people had a vision for this, not just one. When I mean two visions, two separate visions. You know, Zack Snyder, he's known to have a little bit of a dark side when it comes to his movies, no pun intended. Then Josh Whedon, he's seen the original version, so you know what? Let me cut this up a little bit, do some reshoots, and make it a little bit lighthearted, like the Avengers. But you can't do it when it comes to Zack Snyder's vision. Like he already had what he wanted, and this is what he wanted. So unfortunately, it did not come out well. I remember going to theaters to see this in 2017. I didn't hate it, but I did not like it. So if you go back and see it on HBO Max, you definitely can tell that it's been cut up and it wasn't the best. So I actually just finished the Snyder cut of the Justice League, and this movie is 4 hours long. Did I feel every moment of that? Not really. But it definitely was long. But this was an incredible movie. I was highly entertained. I wasn't agitated how long it was. Kind of like Endgame. Like I seen Endgame 4 times in theaters, and that was about 3.5 hours long. And it made it seem as though you weren't wasting your time watching it. Everybody's different in this movie. We got Steppenwolf. He looks totally different. They went in and redid him. The original Steppenwolf wasn't that bad, but how they redid it and then, made him look incredible. Like he looked bad, like not bad as horrible, but he looked good, man. I think it was another voiceover. I'm not sure, but they did something to his voice, made it a little bit more menacing. The Flash, Barry Allen, another Bartholomew, I should say. He wasn't as annoying in this one. Like the Joss Whedon cut, the original theatrical version, he was kind of weird. I think he might have had like Asperger's or something, some kind of ADHD or whatever, had little twitches. He was all over the place in the original version, but this one, he wasn't as a comic relief. I think that's what they were trying to do, trying to make it funny. But yeah, he wasn't as annoying. He has his own backstory, a very brief backstory. The original one, you see he went to prison to meet his father. We all know what happened, why his father was arrested. If you guys watched the Flash TV show on CW, it shows that he was falsely accused of killing his wife. And we all know what happened, and it wasn't true. So Barry Allen, he's going to college to get a degree and try to see if they can get him out. Which I don't understand. Like he's the Flash. He can go fast as speed of light and go through walls. He's so fast and get him out. But I think he's trying to do it the right way. So he had a lot more to do in this movie too. Like in the first one, he was like, I really don't know what to do. I just push things and move out the way real quick. He did that, but he had a lot more of a job to do in this movie, and he did every bit of it. This was the scene with Aquaman and himself, and it was a very, very brief, but showing a human side of him. Not showing that he's just a weird kid. He shows that he's able to communicate just fine. But anyway, so also Iris West is in this. You guys may see the movie and see who's this chick that he's with. That's Iris West. She's a love interest in the Flash. So I believe there will be a Flashpoint movie. They've been working on that for a minute. He almost didn't do it. I'm glad they were able to do it, because by seeing this movie, seeing what Barry Allen can do, that's amazing. He did his thing in this movie. We got Cyborg, played by Ray Fisher. In the original version, you don't know too much about him. They just threw him in the movie. I guess they assume that we all know who Cyborg is. We do. I used to watch Teen Titans Go. No, the original Teen Titans. Teen Titans Go is what my daughter watches. This is a little bit newer version. It's very goofy. But I still watch it. It's hilarious. But they didn't show too much or give too much away in the first one, and that's what kind of messed me up a little bit, because I know Cyborg has a better story than that. We didn't know what happened. We know he was in a car accident and his father brought him back, but we don't know who his mother was. They show his mother in the original one. All they show is that his father brought him back to life and whatever. And you see him speak every now and then. But now they have this movie is so long that they was able to put his life story, a brief life story of who Cyborg is and what he is able to do and his personality. And I really appreciate them doing that, because it seemed like Ray Fisher had a lot to offer, but they cut so much out of it. It's kind of messed up. It's kind of like, Jared Leto said about the Joker in Suicide Squad. He had enough parts to make a full Joker movie, but unfortunately that the direction and the writing for his character was bad, but I like Cyborg and the Flash story. We all know about Wonder Woman. She has 2 movies that is already released, so we know a lot more about her. So she's, if you guys remember the original version of her opening scene where she was in that museum, they really cut that up in the original version. This version, she was kicking it. She was killing it, man. She was doing her thing. And this movie is rated R, and this movie deserves an R rated because it got pretty bloody and pretty violent in that scene. I'm not gonna say too much, but if you do remember seeing that movie when she was in that the museum and all those little girls and everything, was on a field trip, and then there was a hostage situation and everything, that they cut at least 15 minutes of that, because that it was a part of, I'm not gonna say too much. This is a spoiler free. Of course, we know about Aquaman. He's a little bit different. He's a little bit more stern. So if you've seen the Aquaman movie, you know the story of his mother's from Atlantis, and she came to the mainland, had a kid with somebody, and that kid was Aquaman. And they mentioned that a little bit in his story. So that's what I like about this. They show every backstory for each character. But Jason Momoa, he didn't do the yeehaw, that little thing. He didn't do that too much. There was a brief moment he did that at that little scene at the end. Was finding those little monster cricket looking things. But I really enjoyed. They did same thing in the original. They brought back Superman, and how they did it is a little bit different. And it's a shame how they cut that up so much. They really didn't have to do that to Zack Snyder. I don't know the full story on what really happened, but whatever it is, they try to make amends with him, and they was able to allow him to make this movie. I don't know if this might have. So I have a hunch that most of this was the original cut. But they added a few things. They might have did some reshoots with a few of the cast members, such as Ben Affleck as Batman, Bruce Wayne, aka. But because there's a scene where he looks kind of different. Looks like they might have went back and tried to do something. Spoiler free, so I don't want to tell you exactly what happened, but so Steppenwolf looks different. Darkseid is in this movie. He doesn't do too much. He has his presence in there. His presence was in actually the original one. They mentioned him very briefly, but you didn't see him. But so there is a cliffhanger in this movie, and I really hope they bring Zack Snyder back, and we owe him an apology. We owe him this. We owe him that, because this was an incredible movie. I do recommend you see this if you are into the DC Comics and into these kind of movies. We will recommend you do. A lot of people are already ready to kill this movie. You're like, oh, Zack Snyder, he's a crybaby, and he should just leave it alone, leave DC alone, allow them to do whatever they want to do with the DC universe. But I think we definitely need to, give this movie a try. I would definitely see this movie again. I know it's 4 hours long, but I've seen Endgame at least 5 other times after it was released. So I definitely recommend you guys see this. So I'm gonna rate this movie. I will rate this a classic. That's the highest tier that I can give it because it's amazing how they was able to go back and get this done. And I am very excited to see what they're gonna do. And we all seen the trailer of Jared Leto and the Joker. He does make an appearance in this. He's a little bit different than the character he played in Suicide Squad. There's no tattoos or anything like that. So has his little laugh. But he doesn't have that little cholo gangster look anymore. Kind of like Marilyn Manson a little bit, but I will say they did definitely change it a little bit, But yeah, it's a classic, guys. Have you guys seen it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Take care.